Once upon a time in medieval Europe, there were two countries that couldn't agree on, well, anything. England and France. Land, power, crowns, sheep, yes, even sheep, sparked drama. And me, your friendly Stickman narrator, is here to compress 100 years of royal chaos into 10 minutes. So grab a sword, a helmet, and maybe a snack, because this ride's going to be bumpy. It all started when King Edward III of England thought, hey, I should be King of France too. France's King Philip VI disagreed. Instead of settling it over tea, they decided to let thousands of soldiers argue with pointy sticks and arrows. And that, dear viewers, is how you start a century-long war. The first big clash, the Battle of Crécy in 1346. The English archers had longbows, which were basically medieval machine guns made of wood. French knights charged in wearing enough armor to sink a boat. Spoiler alert, arrows won. A lot of French knights discovered gravity and mud that day. Then came the Battle of Poitiers in 1356, another bad day for France. The English captured the French king, John II, which is the medieval version of taking someone's entire account in one move. France had to pay a huge ransom, like buying back your own PlayStation after it got stolen. But France wasn't done yet. They regrouped, got some fancy new tactics, and tried to kick the English out. Meanwhile, both sides were also fighting the Black Death, a plague that didn't care about crowns, borders, or who started the war. It just wiped out huge chunks of everyone's population. Fast forward to the late 1300s. England got a bit distracted by internal drama, rebellions, political messes, and nobles arguing like toddlers. France used that time to rebuild and push the English back. If this war were a game, England was losing XP fast. Then, just when you thought the war might fizzle out, England rolled back in with King Henry V. This guy was a war machine in a crown. His greatest hit, the Battle of Agincourt in 1415. Mud, rain, longbows, and another devastating French loss. It's like Crécy all over again, but messier. After Agincourt, England started gobbling up chunks of France again. Treaties were signed that made it look like England might actually win this endless argument. They even arranged for Henry V's son to inherit both thrones. Spoiler, history doesn't like happy endings for invaders. Enter Joan of Arc, a teenage girl who claimed divine visions told her to lead France to victory. She wore armor, waved a banner, and somehow convinced an entire army to believe in her. Against all odds, France started winning battles again. Turns out morale can be deadlier than swords. Joan's most famous win was lifting the siege of Orleans in 1429. That moment flipped the war's mood entirely. England went from "we're unstoppable" to "wait, why are we losing?" Sadly, Joan was captured, put on trial for heresy, and burned at the stake. Yes, history is cruel. Even without Joan, France kept the momentum. They pushed the English back city by city. The French crown got stronger, the English crown got weaker, and more importantly, England ran out of money and patience. Wars are expensive, especially when you're losing. By the mid-1400s, England basically held just one city in France, Calais. From controlling half the country to one coastal town, that's not exactly a great investment. France had finally turned the tide for good. In 1453, the Battle of Castillon ended the whole mess. The French artillery smashed English forces, proving that cannons were the new kings of the battlefield. England packed up, kept Calais for a while longer, and the 100 Years' War was officially over. So, who won? France. But the real winner was probably nobody. Both kingdoms spent a century trading blows, burning towns, and losing countless lives, and all for crowns that didn't fit well together in the first place. And this war also changed warfare forever. Archers, cannons, and fortified towns replaced shiny knights and open fields. The age of chivalry died in the mud alongside those who believed in it. Politically, England turned inward after the war, diving into its own mess, the Wars of the Roses. Meanwhile, France began building the strong, centralized kingdom that would dominate European politics for centuries. And me, your humble Stickman narrator, is just glad we could get through 100 years in under 10 minutes. I didn't even need to draw every single soldier, just a few thousand stick figures here and there. If there's one lesson here, it's this. History loves drama, but drama comes at a cost. Sometimes it's gold, sometimes it's lives, and sometimes, well, it's just centuries of bad blood. So the next time you see two people fighting over something silly, just remember, it could escalate into 100 years war. And trust me, no one has the stamina